Alright, so the last video was on the 1987 Night Raven. This one here is the updated Night Raven. Some older collectors are like, they shouldn't have even called it the Night Raven because it is not a very accurate reinterpretation of the 1987 Night Raven. And again, I'm okay with that. I mean, some of the older collectors should be able to find, I found 7 of them, so you can find them on eBay. Again, it's not as great as having a new one, but this is for kids, and I'll show you in a second here, but you can see this one is very long, so you would actually have to hold it with 2 hands, one back here. And I realized in my last video, even though this isn't a video for the 1987 one, not only when you pull on this lever or push it forward does it bring up the landing gear and then also conceal it. It also, when you slide it and lower the landing gear, these back here, there with the little grates or whatever, those actually pop up, and they're supposed to be like air brakes or whatever. So anyway, that's kind of cool that one button controls landing gear, concealing the landing gear, and making the air brakes go up and go down. So, but anyway, we're back on this one. So some differences between the 1987 one and this one, obviously, if I can show it in the video, is about 3/4 the length of the 1987 one. So it is a smaller jet. It does not have a drone. It does not have a machine gun. It does not have the lowering bomb bay. Some other differences are, it is only a 1-seater, unlike the 1987 one, which had 2 seats. And I actually have to open it down like this to get it open. But there is actually a lever right here that, pardon me, when you lift it up, it opens it, and as you push down on it, which of course I can do that one, push down on it, it closes up the cockpit. And I do like that they at least integrated the lowering cockpit, and it's definitely a lot more sturdier than the 1987 one, because you can see it has both front and back supports to make sure that it stays on. And I kind of like, again, that they did at least stick with the all-black color. There are some reds and oranges like the 1987 one. It does have, like the 1987 one, both a 2-tone color. So you've got the black, the red, and the orange. And again, let's try not to drop that. You can see that there is red, obviously black, at least on the cockpit, lowering cockpit, and this handle on the back, they do have the gray. I also like how this one looks like, at least to me, being the 2-toned colors that it is, that it looks very much like a snake with how they've slanted the front of the plane, unlike the 1987 one, which has more of a pointed nose to it. And then also being 2-tone, you can, in my opinion, see kind of electronic or machine-looking teeth or fangs right there. So I don't know that they were going for that, even though that might be, well, yeah, of course they were going for that, but that's what I think. It's very snake-like without being overly snake-like. So let's see. The other thing is this plane does get smaller by about that much. And again, I wish I had a webcam so my hands were free to show you this, but obviously there's so many other people out there that have videos that can show you that if that's what you're needing to see. And after doing all these videos one-handed, I really am, starting to get addicted and really hoping that I can get a webcam, but we'll have to see, because I've seen some that are only, $19 to $30, and then there's other ones, and I'm sure it goes even beyond this, up to $130. And of course, that would cut into my G.I. Joe budget, and so far I haven't had very many comments or anything, which is again good, because I'd rather no comments than get a bunch of negative comments, but I'm not sure that I want to invest $130 worth of G.I. Joe income to a webcam, since mostly these videos are just for my own reminiscing and looking at, since I haven't become that popular yet. So anyway, enough of that. The size gets smaller, and the reason why is because just like with the previous vehicles that we have been showing, this one has this handle that folds down, and it has a trigger right there. And what happens is you hold the front with one hand and the back with the other hand, and you do a pumping action, and every time you do that, it rotates the missile pods that this does have, and so each time you trigger it, it fires one, and then you pump it, and it rotates to the next one, and it just keeps doing that until all the missiles are fired. So it is another pretty heavy, sturdy plane. Again, I think that's because regulations have gotten stricter, and parents, don't want to be seeing their kids hurt, but they also probably don't want to see their kids trying to deal with this 1987 very almost model feeling, in the way that the plastic has a hard time sliding up and down, and it just feels very hollow. So compared to the 1987 one, this is very heavy and sturdy. But I thought it was kind of cool that they came out with this, and I'm glad that I was able to get it, because if you've got, this one, which is the Thunderwing, how cool is that to be able to have both a good guy jet and a Night Raven jet, and they both have, electronics, and they both have the handle, and they fire missiles. The only thing I would say is so much better about the Thunderwing one is that I hope I have this turned on. My last video I had to redo because I forgot to turn it on. It does have electronics as well, so that's another reason for its price point. So that's like a targeting sound, in my opinion. That's the pilot saying something. Pilot saying something. So he said the same thing twice and then said something again. And so I believe he says 3 different things. And if you can hear that in the video, you got better hearing than me, because to me it's a little too staticky, and I don't know why it's like that, but it does not seem very clear compared to the Thunderwing, when you could hear it saying push it up, going tactical, and all the other things that it does. So then there's this button, turns on the lights in the back, and makes it sound like it's taking off really fast. And so I also like how they took the time to at least mold like a little exhaust here. So that makes it hide a little bit. I mean, you kind of wonder, well, what's that big red thing? But anyway, let's use our imagination and pretend it's not there. So another reason why I think they had to go to the size being smaller is just because of cost of all the electronics, and then making a new mold, and gasoline and plastic and all the other prices that I forgive Hasbro. I understand, At least they're still making G.I. Joe.